What useful unknown website do you wish more people knew about? Link. It bypasses all paywalls and removes all ads from any web page one have found. Show me a 10 Feminate paywall. I'll show you a 12 Feminate ladder. No install. Just copy and paste your link. Link. You can borrow books across a shit ton of different library systems without having to register for them. If you're interested in languages or trying to learn a new language, I recommend Forvo.com. You can look up a word and hear native speakers pronounce it. It's based on volunteers uploading their recordings of the various words. It's pretty useful for when you're working on your pronunciation. Link. 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 Every no eyes. Comlink. This website contains every obscure subgenre of music imaginable. You can find some great music you've never heard of there. Link. You can hear radios live from all around the world. I recommend accessing on computer or installing the app on mobile. I love this site and was just about to post it when I saw you already did. This is one of my favorite rainy day websites where I just scroll around through radio stations in England and Ireland and Australia and Japan and so forth. Great recommendation. Just therasipe.com. Paste the URL to any recipe. Click submit. And it'll return literally just the recipe, no ads, no life story of the writer, no nothing except the recipe. Copy me. That is a browser extension that does just that and saves them to your recipes. And it's free. Link. Allows you to see if your online accounts have been released in a data breach. You can also get ML alerts if you've been in a breach. This site is not only useful, it's educational and depressing. Flightradar24.com. Wondering where that plane, jet, or helicopter is going? Check them out. When you click on the icon of the plane, etc., it brings up calcins, travel log, make and model, and other various bits of info. Sometimes you can track military planes. There's one that flies over my house at a certain time of the day at a low altitude that I was able to identify. I also used it to track the flight my mother was coming into town on. There's also Mariner Traffic.com if you want to do the same for shipping. That was a fun one with the Suez blockage in February. No way that happened back in February. Feels like it was last week. Damn, time flies. See Hub. Link. Get almost any research paper for free. Just copy the link of the document and it'll show you the PDF. Library Genesis. Link. Free PDFs of math, physics, chemistry, biology, medicine, etc. Finished my degree thanks to this one. A bunch of times a book of a course was just too hard to find or incredible expensive to but in LibGen I got the digital PDF of the book in a few seconds. Very neat. Desmus.com. Link. If you're doing any graphing, it's much easier than a graphing calculator like a T. Desmus got me through so many math classes. I hope it's more widely used now than when I was in school because it's a lifesaver. My 90s TV. Link. It's a great novelty website to kill some time and easily lose yourself for hours with nostalgia. Basically, it uses YouTube videos to simulate watching TV in 90s, and you can specify what year you want and what categories you want to see when you change channels. There are also my Zeros TV. Link. My 80s TV. Link. My 70s TV. Link. My 60s TV. Link. Fantastic fiction. Well organized site to find something to read or follow your favorite author. It notifies me when new releases are happening. We mark our books that we've read just in case we forget where we are in a series. Love this site. Use it every day. Regimultiply 101.com. Link is pretty useful if you need to write regular expressions. You can also just paste in any regex and it tells you what each part does. If you need to glue two things of differing materials together. www.thistethit.com. I really wish they wouldn't just lump all plastics together on that site. They should either remove plastic or break it down by major type. Genuine questions. What are the different types of plastic, and is bonding that heavily affected by it? As someone who collects figures, yes, some plastics won't work with certain glues, or it can be important to know that superglue can and will melt stuff. Plastic resins won't give a toss. but PVC can get a bit melty if you're heavy-handed with the glue, and little non-paint. Have been a couple of figures I've had to fix where superglue straight up doesn't bond at all, and it needs either a plastic glue or 2-part epoxy. Usually translucent parts are the problem. 10-minute mail provides a temporary email address for you to cut and paste into those pesky insert email to sign up or read the rest of the story or whatever. Link. Archive. Orc. I discovered Gunsmoke radio show today. I found this back when COVID lockdown started. I was really missing baseball, and they have radio broadcasts of games from the late 1930s to the early 70s. So much fun. Depending on who you are determines if it's useful or not, but Link is a very informative site of the ongoings of the world. The event map is interesting to explore. Link. Find hidden places in a city you want to visit, although touristy places are also listed. www. Plato. Stanford. Edu. Encyclopedia of Philosophy Link. This is an amazing depository of peer-reviewed philosophy. I cold love for anyone to get a free education. If anyone who sees this wants help learning philosophy, start here. Let me know if you have any questions. Not so much useful, but amazing, a collection of really terrible MP3s. Link. She used to have a collection of the worst holiday music ever, and it was such a great and horrifying playlist. But the current rotation includes some of those in addition to others. Also, the Zompist Frater book, link, an internet classic. In case you needed to know how to correctly say things like, I've never thought that impotent means you can't have a good time in German. Oldgermess download. Com. Link. Download and play the games from the early 90s and 2000s on your Windows machine. I personally play NFSMW 2005 and Counter-Strike. Brings back lot of memories. Link. Convert images of text to actual text. Mealime. It's an app. Instead of doing those expensive meal deliveries, this app lets you pick out the recipes and builds a grocery list for you. It's amazing. Step-by-step instructions. And you can filter dietary restrictions. I love it. I go back to it whenever I get in a food rut, and it's free. The one that shows you the deep ocean and its creatures. I would share the name, but I forgot it, lol. Edit. Found it. Link. If you're in the US, weather.gov is the only place you should be getting your weather information. This is especially true for major weather events. It's a government website, so there are no advertisements. Unlike the Weather Channel and other commercial outlets, they don't have to create fake drama to scare you into coming back for constant updates so they can get more ad views. I can't tell you how many times the Weather Channel and others reported on a blizzard like they were covering a war when weather.gov correctly forecast a minor snow event. You know how winter storms have names now? That's not actually a thing. It's something the Weather Channel made up to make storms more menacing. In the greater Houston area, we have Space City Weather.com, which is amazing. No hype or crazy news. Just pure, direct weather. Highly recommend it. NCTD.com or New Car Test Drive.com if you want to spell it out. They both were just the same. It has nearly every vehicle's specifications, trim levels, packaging, etc., as well as body style changes and everything important to know about buying or selling a vehicle that you don't know anything about. I highly recommend Closetmaster.com if you really want to get into learning other languages. It gives you a sentence in your target language with a word missing and the translation of the entire sentence written below, and then you have to select the correct word from 4 choices to fill in the blank. Once you know more of the language, you can turn over multiple choices and type in the correct answer directly and score double points. Here are the available languages to learn. Link. And there's also a subreddit rClosetmaster. www.whattheduckshouldermakethordiner.com. Link. Gives you full directions from any 2 places from door to door, including trains, buses and ferries, with options to fly to nearby places and take transit to get to your final destination. A friend of mine recently recommended www.zlib.org for finding textbooks. It's also a great place to find books and articles you're interested in. www.gutenberg Org is also a good place to find classic books that you may study in school or just read for fun. Just watch. Comlink. Ever had a movie or TV show in mind and you wanted to know where to stream it online? Want to know if you can stream free with ads, with a subscription, or and buy it at a glance? Search a title and immediately know where to go to legally watch anything. Every boutique streaming service is accounted for. If it's not listed here, start looking for physical media. Explore.org. It's a live cam website that has animals, sunsets, and other neat views. Don't Venraply. Comlink. It hasn't been updated for years, but makes for great bathroom reading. This is legit. It's been up for a very long time with no changes. Figure they make their money renting email accounts addresses. This is very handy for website logins or just handy having access to it. Link. Edit. Thank you for the silver and understanding the worth of a site of this nature. And link to generate a photo of a person who doesn't exist. If you need it for a profile, but don't want it to be reverse image searchable, or screw over a real person. LibriVox Classic Fiction Read Aloud. Link. Open Payments can help you identify doctors who may have conflicting interests concerning your health. When you look up a physician, the site will provide a breakdown of payments, usually gifts or such, from pharmaceutical companies and or medical device companies. If you are looking for a way to discreetly browse Reddit at work school while looking productive, here are some good websites. Mzoutlekid link makes the front page look like your email. Mzworded link makes it look like a Word document. CodeReddit link or Reddit shell link make it look like code. So Reddit link makes it look like Stack Overflow. Link. This one lets you see where lightning strikes in real time. Can be reassuring to see the lightning get further and further away. It's also pretty neat in general. Keeper. Comlink. You can track the historical price of any product on Amazon. That way you can be sure you're actually getting a fair deal and not an inflated price. You can also set it up to send you notifications when the price of a given product goes below certain amount. Saved a bunch of money thanks to it. Warning: I have spent 4 hours looking at these comments and bookmarking these websites. The same will happen to you. Grab a snack and enjoy. Reddit's Archival. It's a Reddit search engine. It's fun to search random words or phrases and see what comes up. I have killed hours like that. I prefer to use Reddit's own search engine. You'll literally never ever find what you're looking for, but instead you'll end up in some weird rabbit hole reading about the time a guy kidnapped a parrot and taught it Portuguese, and then suddenly you realize it's 4:32 am and you have to be up in a few hours. Link. It's called the Library of Babel. You'll find that this comment has theoretically already been written. Not just theoretically. Link. For those who are unaware, the library is basically just a huge collection of random text, but you can search it for patterns. Theoretically, it contains everything which has ever been written, or ever will be written. I know I'm late, and not sure if someone has already said this, but Blatherapy is a great website. You can either go on to vent to a stranger or to listen to a stranger, and yes, it is free. Link. Under the FCRA, everyone in the US is entitled to their full credit report from each bureau at least once a year. This is the only official website where you can receive it for free and extremely helpful in a country that runs off credit. Pro tip: request your full background report once from a different bureau every 4 months. By rotating it this way, you'll get the most use out of the free report from each bureau, and the info reported should be exactly the same from bureau to bureau. Not always the case, but discrepancies, errors can be disputed. Source: worked at a background screening company. Helped countless job candidates retrieve their detailed credit history. Errol's Utilities at errolgen.com. You can look up any IP address and any domain ownership ISP provider for wherever you're surfing from geographically. Look up modems by MAC address to see what brand they are. Look up TNs to see their owner or carrier. Default wireless network keys by brand. And a zillion other nifty amateur networking how-to articles. As a telecom tech support person, I use it at least once a week to prove to customers that the modem they forgot they bought isn't us, so they have to fix their own issues. Ninite.com. If you've got a new PC and need to install literally everything you can think of, it's all right there. The Trees Network link. They play classic movies right now. It's Halloween themed 24/7. Have a Bob Ross channel and a cooking channel with a chat room. Everyone's super friendly, but the website is very under the radar, albeit not illegal, no ads and free. Highly recommend if you just want something to watch. We're watching Final Destination 3. Vocal separator. Com link. It separates music from words. It's pretty neat. Thesaurus. Com. Between you and me, I'd give head to whoever made the thesaurus. And don't even get me started on what I'd let whoever put the thesaurus online do to me. Link. It's an absolute goldmine of literally anything trope related. What is a trope? A borderline glitch plot device that is pervasive in all forms of written entertainment. For example, 2 dates to the prom, damsel in distress, the bottle episode, I have no mouth and I must scream, etc. Look up your favorite show and dig through the plethora of tropes you overlook and take for granted. Car complaints. Com. When you buy a used vehicle, you want to get a feel of that vehicle type's actual past history. That website is your best resource. Zenny.com. Prescription glasses for crazy cheap prices. You type in your prescription and can buy glasses for 10, a lot of frames to pick from, and you can see how they would look on you virtually. Then you can add on things like tint diff colors. Dosethedog.com. It's a database of movies and shows that let you know if the dog dies in it. But, more importantly, it also covers anything that could be triggering. Know someone who has PTSD from certain themes that could be in a movie. This site will let you know if it is safe to proceed. Just a very clever website in my opinion.